Cinema of Ireland. The Irish film industry has grown somewhat in recent years, thanks partly to the promotion of the sector by the Irish Film Board and the introduction of heavy tax breaks. According to the Irish Audiovisual Content Production Sector Review carried out by the Irish Film Board and Price Waterhouse Co-opers in 2008, this sector has gone from 1,000 people employed 6 or 7 years ago to well over 6,000 people in that sector now, and is valued at over 557.3 million euros and represent 0.3% of the GDP. According to an article in Variety magazine spotlighting Irish cinema, a decade ago Ireland had only 2 filmmakers anyone had heard of, Neil Jordan and Jim Sheridan. As of 2010, Ireland can boast more than a dozen directors and writers with significant and growing international reputations. Ireland is now achieving critical mass of filmmaking talent to match the kind of influence, disproportionate to its small size, that it has always enjoyed in the fields of literature and theatre. Following in the footsteps of Sheridan and Jordan comes a generation that includes such directors as Lenny Abrahamson, Conor McPherson, John Crowley, Martin McDonough, John Michael McDonough, John Carney, Kirsten Sheridan, Lance Daly, Paddy Breathnach, and Damien O'Donnell, and writers such as Mark O'Rowe, Enda Walsh, and Mark O'Halloran. Former Ministry of Arts, Sports and Tourism Martin Cullen said that the film industry is the cornerstone of a smart and creative digital economy, but as well as the concrete economic benefits that the Irish film industry brings in by way of cash investments from overseas and the associated VAT, payee and PRSI receipts, it has been noted that there are soft benefits in terms of the development and projection of the Irish culture and the promotion of tourism. While big-budget international productions keep crews working and are enormously valuable to the country, it is the indigenous industry that is at the heart of creating opportunity and giving skills and experience to Irish producers, directors, writers, and crew, telling the story that emerges from Irish-based talent. Some of the most successful Irish films include The Wind That Shakes the Barley from 2006, Intermission from 2003, Man About Dog from 2004, Michael Collins from 1996, Angela's Ashes from 1999, The Commitments from 1991, Once from 2007, and Notorious from 2017. Mrs. Brown's Boys, the movie, 2014, holds the record for the biggest gross on the opening day of an Irish film in Ireland. Notorious, 2017, on the other hand, holds the record for highest grossing Irish documentary of all time. In the past, many films were censored or banned, owing largely to the influence of the Catholic Church, with films including The Great Dictator from 1940, A Clockwork Orange from 1971, and Life of Brian from 1979 being banned at various times. Although virtually no cuts or bans have been issued in recent years, one as of August 2006. The Irish Film Censor Office's policy is that the personal choice for the viewer, considering his job to examine and classify films rather than censor them. Ireland as a location. The first fictional film shot in Ireland was Callum Company's The Lad from Old Ireland from 1910, which was also the first American film shot on location outside the United States. It was directed by Sidney Olcott, who returned the next year to shoot over a dozen films primarily in the small village of Beaufort, County Kerry. Olcott intended to start a permanent studio in Beaufort, but the outbreak of World War I prevented him from doing so. The Irish government was one of the first in Europe to see the potential benefit to the exchequer of having a competitive tax incentive for investment in film and television. Making use of a revised and improved version of its Section 481 tax incentive in 2015, which gives production companies a tax credit rate of 32% when making certain films. Other countries have recognized the success of Ireland's incentive scheme and matched it or introduced a more competitive tax incentive. After a long lobbying process, significant improvements were introduced to the Section 481 relief for investment in film projects in 2009 to boost employment in the industry and help re-establish Ireland as an attractive global location for film and television production. Kevin Moriarty, managing director of Ardmore Studios, believes Ireland is an attractive film location as there is now recognition for the quality of the output of the Irish film industry and a perception that Ireland is a viable film destination. Prominent films that have been filmed in Ireland include The Quiet Man from 1952, The Lion in Winter from 1968, The First Great Train Robbery from 1979, Excalibur from 1981, Braveheart from 1995, Reign of Fire from 2002, King Arthur from 2004, The Guard from 2011, Star Wars The Force Awakens from 2015, and Star Wars The Last Jedi from 2017. Cinemas in Ireland. The first cinema in Ireland, the Volta, was opened at 45 Mary Street, Dublin in 1909 by the novelist James Joyce. Ireland has a high rate of cinema admissions, the highest in Europe. There are several cinema chains operating in Ireland. Among them are Odeon Cinemas, Omniplex, IMC Cinemas, Cineworld, View, and Movies at Cinemas. Studios. Ardmore Studios was the first Irish studio opening in 1958 in Bray, County Wicklow. Animated film. Ireland has been home to several noteworthy producers of animated films in recent years. Sullivan Bluth Studios was opened in 1979 as Don Bluth Productions, with its primary location in Dublin, to produce animated films by director Don Bluth and producer Maurice Sullivan. Some films produced at Sullivan Bluth's Irish studio include 1988's The Land Before Time, 1989's All Dogs Go to Heaven, and 1991's Rock-a-Doodle. Many of these films competed favorably with productions by Walt Disney Pictures at the time. However, following a number of box office flops in the early to mid-90s, including 1994's Thumbelina and A Troll in Central Park, and 1995's The Pebble and the Penguin, the studio soon declared bankruptcy and was closed in 1995. Today, Ireland has a number of animation studios that produce television and commercial animation, as well as feature films and co-production. Cartoon Saloon, founded in 1999 by Paul Young and Tom Moore, is among the most prolific. It has produced the award-winning TV series Skank Fu, as well as a feature film, 2009's The Secret of Kells, animated primarily with traditional paper and pencil hand-drawn animation, and detailing a fictitious account of the creation of the Book of Kells. The film was nominated at the 82nd Academy Awards for Best Animated Feature. Cartoon Saloon has more feature films in production, including Song of the Sea, released in 2014. Legislation. The Film Act of 1970 set the foundation for an expanding Irish-based film industry. It provided, among other things, very advantageous tax advantages for film productions and resident foreign creative individuals. A number of world-renowned writers, including Len Deighton, Frederick Forsyth, and Richard Condon, took advantage of the allowances, residing in Ireland for a number of years. The Film Act of 1970 was the result of an initial collaboration between Taoiseach, Jack Lynch, and Lynn Garson, an aerial film director who shared a semi-detached with the Prime Minister. The Film Act of 1970 became the basis for other national film acts throughout Europe and America. Irish Film Board. The Irish Film Board is the national development agency for the Irish film industry, investing in talent, creativity, and enterprise. The agency supports and promotes the Irish film industry and the use of Ireland as a location for international production. The Irish Film Board was set up in 1981 to boost the local industry, and one of its earliest supported projects was The Outcasts in 1982. After the infamous closure of the Irish Film Board in 1987, the Irish stories and filmmakers continued to break through with considerable international success. My Left Foot by Jim Sheridan and The Crying Game by Neil Jordan, as well as The Commitments by Alan Parker, all made with non-Irish finance. The success of these projects, coupled with intensive local lobbying, led to the re-establishment of the Irish Film Board in 1993. Many film critics point to the fact that the Irish Film Board's output has been poor, as most films which are chosen for funding do little or no business outside of the country and are rarely popular in Ireland. However, IFB-funded films like Intermission, I Went Down, Man About Dog, The Wind That Shakes the Barley, and Adam and Paul have proved popular with domestic audiences and have all done respectable business in Irish cinemas. Both the Oscar-winning film Once and the Palme d'Or winner The Wind That Shakes the Barley have experienced international success over the last couple of years. Once, which was made on a shoestring budget, took over $10 million at the US box office and over $20 million in worldwide ticket sales, while The Wind That Shakes the Barley was distributed theatrically in 40 territories worldwide. Over the last 4 years, Irish films have screened and won awards at the top international film festivals including Cannes, Sundance, Berlin, Toronto, Venice, London, Tribeca, Edinburgh, and Busan. The Wind That Shakes the Barley won the prestigious Palme d'Or Award for Best Film at the Cannes Film Festival in 2006, while Garage, directed by Lenny Abramson, picked up the CICEA Award at the Directors' Fortnight at the festival in 2007. After winning the Audience Award at the Sundance Film Festival in 2007, Once went on to win the Best Foreign Film Prize at the Independent Spirit Award in 2008 and an Academy for Best Original Song. The Irish short film Six Shooter won the Academy Award for Best Short Film in 2006, while the short film New Boy was nominated for the same award in 2009. In 2009, a record 7 IFB-funded films, Ondine, Perry's Bounty, Triage, A Shine of Rainbows, Eamon, Cracks, and Colony, had officially been selected for the Toronto International Film Festival. However, unlike Toronto, Irish film distributors are less reluctant to screen homegrown movies. Tony Keeley has criticized the board's insistence on funding uncommercial, commercial cinema. Paul Melia has also criticized the IFB over its slowness in awarding funding. The Minister for Arts, Sports and Tourism, Martin Cullen, addressed the issue of commercial success recently, saying that the Film Board offers the chance to make films for a small audience and not necessarily for big commercial successes, but which have real quality, that offers opportunity to people who can go on to make their mark. Whether that is the actors, the director, or crew, many of the people who work on those films wouldn't go on to success unless they had been given their first chance here. People can only get experience by giving them the opportunity. 2005 Top 10 Poll. In 2005, a Jameson Whiskey-sponsored poll selected the top 10 Irish films. These are the results. Number 10, Inside I'm Dancing from 2004. Number 11, Veronica Guerin, 2003. Number 8, Intermission from 2003. Number 7, The Field from 1990. Number 6, Michael Collins from 1996. Number 5, The Snapper from 2003. Number 4, The Quiet Man from 1952. Number 3, In the Name of the Father from 1993. Number 2, My Left Foot from 1989. Number 1, The Commitments from 1991. Critically acclaimed Irish films released since this poll was taken include The Wind That Shakes the Barley, Once, The Secret of Kells, Songs of the Sea, Garage, The Guard, and Brooklyn. Irish Film and Television Awards. The Irish Film and Television Awards have been awarded since 1999 and in their current form since 2003. The best Irish film winners have been Intermission in 2003, Omagh in 2004, Inside I'm Dancing 2005, The Wind That Shakes the Barley in 2007, Garage in 2008, Hunger in 2009, The Eclipse in 2010, As If I Am Not There in 2011, The Guard in 2012, What Richard Did in 2013, Calvary in 2014, Song of the Sea in 2015, Room in 2016, and A Date for Mad Mary in 2017.